Dear friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the fresh news of the day. In France, the courts have clearly passed a directive saying that no more protests are going to be allowed because people, the protesters who had burnt half of France, now want to protest against quote-unquote police brutalities. Now, it's okay for the protesters to burn more than 400 to 500 buildings. It's okay for the protesters to set fire to more than 3,000 automobiles. It is okay for the protesters to enter homes, enter shopping malls, loot, burn, pillage. That is absolutely fine. But if the police, fires a tear gas shell, that is a violation of the protesters' human rights. This is what Europe has come to, you see. And I would also like to tell you that, what the Europeans are now saying is that, these people also have rights. So the French courts have said nothing doing. You're not going to protest. Because the police have very less manpower and the police is overstretched. But, there is a larger lesson here. I want to ask European politicians, you're letting in migrants because, you're so large-hearted. Your country is so large-hearted. Come settle down. Will you allow that same person into your home to interact with your family, your children, your siblings? You will not. If you keep the doors of your home shut, why don't you keep the doors of your nation shut also? Why do you treat your home and your nation differently? All for a few votes? All to look statesmanlike in front of the world and tell the world that, look, we are so large-hearted? Is that what is all this really about? I think Europe, France, every country in Europe I'm talking about, Canada, Australia, you need to have a very deep look as to what you're actually doing. Across the world, there are people who want to immigrate to the West who are top-class professionals. Please select the best people to come to your countries. Facilitate them, give them money, give them houses, give them all kind of support. But take the best of the best. You see, there are scientists, there are doctors, there are engineers. There is a whole bunch of top-end IT professionals. Invite them. They will add to your society. They will assimilate. These are educated people. They will not be a burden on the system. Rather, they will raise the system to a new height. That is what Indians are doing. Everywhere, Indians of all religions, all communities. That is what Indians are doing everywhere. Do you know why? Do you know why the Indians are the top performing community in the United States of America? Just take one example, the USA. Why? It is because there is only one thing Indians carry with them, that is education. There is nothing else. All of them highly educated, qualified, and people who are committed to working. We put our heads down and we work. That's it. This whole thing about, that I want this and this is my political affiliation, this happens much, much, much later, if at all. The first thing is, for a few decades, all you do is put your head down and contribute to the country that has accepted you with open arms. But many of these immigrants don't do that, coming from other countries. They damage the country that they are in. And this is something that Europe, America, Canada and Australia need to look at. Also, Dr. Jaishankar met China's top diplomat, and there were a few words exchanged, polite of course, in which the Chinese person said that, the Chinese diplomat said that, we need to move beyond our stated positions and, normalize our relations, in the sense that they were telling India, the positioning was that forget about the line of actual control, forget about the eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation, between our two armies, forget about that. What we need to do is focus on trade and focus on other things. The Modi government's position on China is actually hurting the Chinese very badly, ladies and gentlemen. And it's hurting them so badly that they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. What they're doing is, they are trying to actually, tell India that work with us on trade, work with us on commerce, on the economy, but forget about the line of actual control. What India is saying is, you expected us, actually, this is India's position, that China always expected India, right, that if China hit India along the LAC, India would hit China along the LAC only, and that line of actual control, the 3,600-700 kilometer line of actual control would be isolated. And the enmity so-called between India and China would not percolate to other parts. What India did was, India of course managed to control and contain China along the line of actual control, but India also moved the battle to the economic sphere. So, there is enhanced talk of decoupling with the Chinese economy. The Europeans and the Americans are saying that. and they're actually trying to slowly move out of China. That is one bit. Second bit, which is extremely important, is that India has already banned more than 200 Chinese apps, and all these Chinese companies that are, inside of India and manufacturing inside of India, providing services, many of them are under scrutiny of the Enforcement Directorate. And a lot of them are into wrongdoing. That is typical Chinese business practice. And India is cornering them bit by bit. This has made China extremely uncomfortable, because when China loses money, that is the time when China does not know what is going on. Then things spin out of China's control. China is very happy for a military confrontation to take place along the line of actual control and it be limited there, not move out of there. What India has done is said that, okay, we will confront you along the line of actual control, no problem. Our army is there, our air force is there, our navy is guarding the seas. We'll do all of that, but we'll also hit you economically, and this is something that China does not like. So thank you for watching this program, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like this video, and if you do, press like. I'll see you again tomorrow with another bit of fresh news. Till then, Jai Hind.